Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Renee Mera. Thank you so much for joining my show. Today, my guest is a lifelong obsessed musician, singer, composer, songwriter, former finance executive who dared to dream the impossible and became one of Asia's leading performers and artists of contemporary music. From Singapore, it is Druv Kent, or Druv Kent, as he's popularly called in the world of music. Hi, Druv.
Hello, hi Renee. Lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You had four successful albums, four singles that were the top charts in world indie music charts, also in Euro indie music charts. And you're still going on, daring to dream the impossible and making it happen. So let's talk about your journey because you were a finance executive, but you decided to just go completely making music your profession, not just your passion, which it is, anyways.
Yeah. No, I was. As you absolutely correctly said, I've been a lifelong musician, and was born in India, and I didn't really feel I had. So I made traditional choices. Let's just say, right? The traditional choices were to study computer science in college in the U.S. actually, and business and things like that, and do a degree after that in business school and do finance and then do banking career after that for many years actually. But one of the things that I think, in fact, you're talking about my college experience, was I did a creative writing course, which was amazing. I did a course while doing a computer science kind of major. I'm doing a creative writing course. I did an introduction to rock and roll part one, or history of rock and roll part one. Then I did history of rock and roll part two. And my parents were like, are we sure we're sending you to college for these reasons, right? I mean, where's your computer science? My point is that all this later, I think I found, helped me make a decision as bold as I did when I wrote my first song in 2013. So it was only in 2013 that I wrote my first song. And it was beautiful. It happened after I had a slight squabble with my wife. I go to the next room, to like this, sit down on a keyboard, and out comes a full song. And I'm like blown away. And to put things in context, Renee, I was a brown guy, Asian guy. We don't write music in English, or at least 10 years ago, it was not really a thing. Not at a world class, not at that level, right? We covered songs, and that was what we did. And I grew up around me were beautiful musicians. We were all best of mates and, winning competitions, etc. But none of us wrote really at that level. And we just didn't have the confidence almost. And when this came to me, this music, I said, I have a responsibility now. So it was one song, then there was another song, there was another song. And then I said, I have to have the integrity that I'm telling my children to have, which is, if you believe something to be true, you have to pursue it. And so it just came to me like that kind of a calling. And that's finally, I obviously had many discussions with my wife, who supported me, which is amazing, Sneha. And I made this choice. And it's been 10 years. It's been a roller coaster ride. As you said, a lot of successes, a lot of challenges, but amazing, truly amazing.
And then there was a wrenching event. You lost your dad. And from that grief came your creativity. And that was a song, I'm Still Writing, in 2016.
Yeah. Well, I lost my father actually many years ago, right? In 2003, September 26th. And it was a life-changing event. I was a relatively young man, and I didn't fully appreciate, I think, the bond between how important the father model really was, maybe more so to young men, and how little expressed it was. There was always a shyness for young men to express genuine love, for another man, right? It was just not really that widely kind of communicated. And I thought, I have this strong kind of, adulation and beautiful memory. And it was still inside me when I became a musician. And maybe part of what drove me into this direction was this artistic requirement to express myself with all these kind of things. And so I wrote this song. It was written in the form of a letter to my father, telling him that, quarter of my life you've been a legacy, yet your sun shines all over me. You gave me life, you gave me smiles, you gave me time that others couldn't find, and you let me roam, you gave me hope, taught me to fly, and I'm still writing. I'm okay. So it's a letter to him telling him that, I don't know where you are, but I want to tell you that I'm okay. I'm sure you're thinking about me.
Quarter of my life you've been a legacy, yet your sun shines all over me. Struggle to find that peace of mind there. You didn't provide that. Heck, you were like that. I'm still unsure I'm ready to let you go. You gave me life and you gave me smiles and you gave me time that others couldn't find. You let me roam and you gave me hope and taught me to fly, and I'm still writing.
So beautiful. It went down very well. The song really resonated with a number of people, as have a lot of songs because they're all coming from a deep point in my heart, I guess. But it was a big hit in the UK and Australia. It did very well, and the video is beautiful. We got 10,000 different clips of different people sending in contributory videos of their father and son images. And we kind of went through the painstaking process of collating that. It was quite beautiful.
In hindsight, we see things very differently from a different lens. And
Yeah.
the emotions that you express in I'm Still Writing, you come out, father and son, that bond that is there. Talking about fathers, your father was very, very close to the legendary actor, Bollywood actor Amitabh Bachchan ji.
Yeah.
Your father was in Calcutta. Mr. Bachchan
Yeah.
worked for your father.
Yes, he did. He worked for my father for, almost 2 years, I think it was. And it was before I was really born. But they were both at Sherwood College. We are both, both our families are from Allahabad. Uh, so there is a whole kind of connection, if you will, between the families, the Bachchan family and the Shrikant family. And then when Amitabh came to Calcutta, my father, said, you're going to work here. It's lovely. It was a great job, by the way. At that time, it was like being the investment banker equivalent in the late 60s was working in a freight broking house, which was, everything was paid for, etc. So anyway, so he started doing that, and then after a while, he approached my father, and after a year or something, he said, "Listen, Bonnie, which is my father's name, so that I really think I need to move to Bombay. I want to make acting a career because he'd already been acting in plays. My parents used to visit and watch him and support him, etc. And off he went. And my father sat him down and says, Amit, you need to come. This is another legendary story on the television. You need to come over for dinner. I need to talk to you. It's very high risk Okay, are you sure you have what it takes? And of course, he had what it takes.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, that's right. He dared to dream.
Yes. Yeah.
Are
He
you
did.
still in touch with Amitabh Bachchan?
Yes, absolutely. My mother is quite frequently in touch with him. We remain close, I would say. He's a very busy man, and doing a number
He's
of
a
things at
legend.
a legend at a different level of, let's say, engagement. So it's a bit hard to be that much in touch, I would say. But yes, when we're in Mumbai now, or when he's in Calcutta, certainly, yes.
You have written many Hindi songs as well. Being an Indian, as you mentioned, a brown guy talking about English
Yeah.
songs, but here you have written many, many Hindi songs, and many of them have been hits as well. One of them was Hindustan Meri Jaan, which you bring it back to, you're talking about and what it is to being an Indian in Singapore or overseas. And
Yeah.
in Singapore, there's another person that she met up with at that point of time, and that was
Yeah.
Dr. Deepak Chopra.
All right.
Being an
Yes. Yeah.
Indian has done so much in the West,
Yeah.
advocating holistic health, especially Ayurveda. I mean, we all know Dr. Deepak Chopra, a very eminent author and a motivational speaker, and a big champion of holistic health. Being an Indian, you came up with Hindustan Meri Jaan, and here we have Dr. Deepak Chopra. Now, why I brought Dr. Deepak Chopra? Because he's your friend as well, and he was in Singapore just recently.
Yeah, no, it was, Dr. Deepak Chopra was amazing. He was in Singapore for a few days. And I think, really, his ability to tell a story is really, second to none, right? He is better than, or he's as good as a Malcolm Gladwell will have you when he's writing stories, right? Dr. Chopra, when he's narrating stories, will talk about his childhood or his life or his impressions of how he's grown up and what philosophies he's trying to combine. It's just amazing, just listening to him. So he's just such a cerebral thinker, and it's so nice to have him as part of the Indian diaspora. So that's wonderful, and it's wonderful to meet him every time I do, which is quite a pleasure and an honor. So that absolutely caught up when he was in Singapore. The song Hindustan Meri Jaan is a love song to India. It really is. And, actually, so it goes back to another song of mine, which came out the year before that, which was Back Home. So I wrote another song which is about, where is home? What is home? I couldn't put a finger on it, right? So I tried to write, so I wrote an entire song about it, trying to figure it out. And it's also a beautiful song, I would say. I went and shot the video in Calcutta, outside my childhood home. But it doesn't really mean my childhood home. Home is really about, this is home right now where I'm living. And as you know, I'm moving house,
Yeah.
that will become home. So it's just like, so home is really a conceptual piece of real estate or virtual piece of real estate we kind of have in our head where we feel comfortable. And so I wrote Hindustan Meri Jaan as a kind of tribute more directly to the country I love and the country I was born in, which is Hindustan. And the one line I would just want to kind of take and say, this is the song, this is the line that I think became the song, and it kind of typifies what the song's about. And the line is Rang Tera Bhi, Rang Mera Bhi.
Wow.
That's it, right? Everything else is just beauty and color around that, right? Because it's about you have your colors, I have mine, and that's what makes India.
Yeah.
And it's so poetic. I thought as soon as I heard this, I kind of knew this is the song. This is the whole song, So
Rang tera bhi, rang mera bhi.
रंग तेरा भी रंग मेरा भी I'll be there for you always shine for you हम न होंगे जुदा मेरी जान रंग तेरा भी रंग मेरा भी सबकी काया की बनती है छाया कैसी है माया तू बता सब में है रोशन उसका उजाला खुद से ही देखे अपनी माया प्यार हूँ मैं तू भी प्यार है एक ही तुझ में मुझ में यार है हर गुल से ही गुलजार है हिंदुस्तान 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 हसरतें मेरी तुझ में जवां इश्क तेरी ज़मीं तू मेरी जान मेरी जान तू मेरी जान मेरी जान तू मेरी जान मेरी जान हिंदुस्तान मेरी जान रंग तेरा भी रंग मेरा भी रंग तेरा भी रंग मेरा भी
That was beautiful. You have done a lot of fusion. You have a lot of influences from Western music, from folk, Indian music, and shabads. And you came out with Beyond It All. It sounds really nice, Beyond It All. We're talking about the spiritual realms, beyond it all. It can be put in any interpretation over there. In parentheses, it's Sai. Sai means a mentor, a guide. For me, shabads are very, very soulful music. They connect you to the beyond. They connect you to the light, to our inner recesses of our soul. And that's so very important, especially when you're Indian, away from your country, but you still carry your roots with you, your spiritual roots with you.
Yeah, so true. So one of the things that happened to me over the COVID period, and not to do with COVID, but I lost my father's younger brother. I also lost my father's elder brother, one of his elder brothers, and it was just in a matter of months. And the younger brother specifically loved shabads, and this specific shabad was introduced to me by him. The song called Sai, and it's an old traditional kind of Punjabi folk song, which is kind of definitely spiritual, semi-religious, but not really religious, like a lot of Nanak kind of teachings. So it has this Nanak is almost as a poet becomes a bit like Kabir or like Rahim. It becomes like almost just like a poetry kind of refrain. But what I loved about the song also was mostly the melody. The melody was just super. And it was simple and it was slightly Western, which is where I really grabbed it. And I said, this is actually could be an English song. Okay. And that's where Beyond It All came. So I wrote this as an ode almost back to my chacha, who I lost. And I said, okay, I want to write this Shabad back to him, but in a way I interpret it. Right. So it's not a religious song in my view, but people take my music in different ways. And I'm like, it's music, take it the way you want it and enjoy it the best way you can. But it really has a spiritual tone from the start to the end. And it has refrains of the Shabad, of the actual Shabad, but I've changed the lyrics, which so that, they're slightly different and more oriented to the song.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I lost my mom during that time as well. It was painful. And that's when you really reach out into spiritualism more than ever. And that's what I say, Tum daya karo mere sai, tum daya karo mere sai. So my sai is this, but let's hear a little bit from you.
I'd want to share it with you. So it's Beyond It All Sign. Sign, hear my humble prayer, turn to you when I fall. Help me walk again when my world's feeling small, when my spirit's breaking and I'm a fallen soul. Lift me up so lightly, beyond it all, beyond it all. साईं मैं सच्ची अरदास लेके आई, सब दिया खुशियां वधाई, सानू अपने चरण ते बिठाई, सानू सादे दोष ना गिनाई। मैं सच्ची अरदास लेके आई, सब दिया खुशियां वधाई, सानू अपने चरण ते बिठाई, सानू सादे दोष ना गिनाई। मैं सच्ची अरदास लेके आई, मैं सच्ची अरदास लेके आई, मैं सच्ची अरदास लेके आई, मैं सच्ची अरदास लेके आई।
Druv Kent is your name in the artistic world. So you have done a lot for young adults in Singapore, mentoring them, coaching them, inspiring them to write songs and making them new generation composers and writers. And you had an event that you hosted and created and curated. It was called Battle of the Bands, where you are really empowering these young adults to become musicians in their own right.
So I try and do as much as I can, certainly. I think there's a lot more even I could be doing, and certainly a lot more needs to be done for young people in general to have role models who can speak with honesty. Tell them about all the beauty that's out there, but also tell them about the challenges. And I know enough about both of those pieces of being an artist. So, so that's one as let's say, as a guidance person. Secondly, I've done lots of work as a songwriting collaborator, helping young people refine their songs, and as a producer. And the Battle of the Bands was a real exercise because my focus is to encourage original expression. So we had 19 bands. We had coming in all over from Singapore. This was a Singapore event, which I had organized. And from all kinds of different schools and different backgrounds, people coming in with original music. And then we had shortlisted them. I had a jury which was set up for my judges of my fellow peer musicians and leading people in the arts who were kind of doing all that. And then the people who came first basically were allowed to open my show, and got lots of mentorship for the next year from all the judges, including trying to get a production deal happening free of cost, etc. So that was just one thing that we did. It took a lot of work, but there'll be more to come. I'm always working with various foundations and various organizations also, even institutionally, to help be a mentor. I've guest lectured at the universities here, NUS, Yale NUS, at all the international schools, done lots of work, talking about artistry and how to be an artist, and how to survive the challenges, and how to make decisions about whether you want to be an artist or not as well.
So what was one of the biggest takeaways from your event for these young adults?
So I think, firstly, there's a lot of people who are talented, right? We all know this. Yeah. But I think this lens gets a little easy to get colored when you're the parent and you're like, my daughter's amazing. Because your daughter is like, I am amazing. And, she's 15 or 16. So all that is true. The thing is, what is going to actually help you decide whether is it worth devoting your life in an artistic direction route and say, okay, let me take a degree, let me cover my bets, and let me keep this on the side and see how this pans out. It's a very complicated situation. You don't want to just, there's no one rule, one answer fits all. But what you're looking for is a person who is so hungry when she's, or in this case, she is 15 or 16 or 17, that she is willing to kind of give everything else up, for the next 10 years. And children, or no one has any understanding of where they're going to be 3 years or 1 year from now, even us, and young people, it's even harder because they have seen less. So there's that you have to factor in. So more conversations to understand, do they have the grit? It's mostly the grit. The talent is going to keep them fueled. That's all. But what you're looking, because without the talent, they wouldn't be having this conversation with you, right? So that's fair. And the talent, you're not in some supreme position to judge everyone's talent. Everyone's talent is different. Best thing you can help try and ascertain is whether they have the grit and the resolve and the hunger that is going to fuel them through. That is the best thing that I would look for.
Absolutely. You have to be hungry for music, have that passion and lifelong commitment. Your hashtag is Dare to Dream.
It is, yeah.
You're bringing that positivity in these young adults. You always end your live shows, your concerts, your performances with glitter and dynamite. I think that sums it all, what Druv Kent is all about. So we're going to end today's show with glitter and dynamite.
Let's do it.
Animalize again. Yesterday, don't know where we go. Make or play. Is it only I who has visions in my mind? I won't back down from this thing creeping up inside. The room is racing round and you're in my mind. The floor is moving me to be right by your side. And I say, take my heart, shake my soul, glitter and dynamite. Burn that light, lose control, burst into the night. I didn't know that I would set my heart alight with glitter and dynamite, glitter and dynamite. No, 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 no.
Glitter and dynamite. Dare to dream. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Renee. Stay healthy, stay positive.